Let's see if he can keep doing what the starters have done in this series. Tarek Skubal was outstanding yesterday. Casey Mize has been really good as well, and the Yankees will trot out this starting lineup, and it begins with Ben Rice. He has the only extra base hit in the lineup in this series for the New York Yankees, and for a team you have to keep in the ballpark. Mission accomplished so far for the Tigers.
Pretty good storyline for the Tigers. Keep the ball from going over the fence. It's went in the air a decent amount, but too high, not far enough. Flaherty, you know he's going to use that slider down. He'll use those breaking balls. Then he'll buzz that fastball in there, keep him off balance. But that slider today is going to be his pitch. He can locate it down and into a lefty, down and away to the righty.
And here's the defense that will be standing behind him. Riley Green in left, Ryan Kreidler in center, Zach McKinstry, who plays everywhere well, out in right, Ibanez and Baez. Strong left side of the infield, Keith and Torkelson. Dylan Dingler now is the primary catcher. A.J. Hinch, some news that it's not going to be a minimal IL stint for Jake Rogers before the game. So Dylan Dingler gets thrust in his second major league year to the spotlight of catching one of the most versatile pitching staffs, and one of the pieces of this team that is most important is that ability to catch so much varied stuff, and he's done very well for himself.
He has, and AJ being a catcher himself I think helps, and AJ has made it very clearly, hey, as the primary catcher, your number one job is to catch this staff. Hitting comes second. We want you to hit, but that's going to come second too, helping these pitchers out, making sure you're calling a good game. And he said his prep work is as good as anybody he's ever seen. He's a smart guy. He
is. We'll get into the details of that through the course of this game and beyond, but we are underway. Jack Flaherty throws a first pitch. That is ball number 1. 1-11 first pitch today. Flaherty versus Fried. And Ben Rice leading off for the Yankees. He's been all around the top of the order, and he could not check his swing there in the estimation of yesterday's plate umpire, Shane Livensparger.
Right out the gate, going to that slider.
The first swing and miss, and likely not the last for Jack Flaherty today. There's a little tapper third base side and foul. The Tigers have been great at getting swing and miss so far this year. This pitching staff is second in Major League Baseball. It's like 30% whiff rate for this staff as a whole.
Yeah, the stuff is good, but it's the execution of the pitches. It's location. You can call whatever you want, but if you don't execute it, it doesn't really matter. It helps Casey Mize is getting a ton of swing and miss. So if you look at the numbers as a whole, I mean, he's had a lot of swing and miss.
Certainly compared to last year for Casey, as the 1-2 is in there. Strike 3. A more decisive punch out for the first punch out today.
Got him froze up there on a cold day. He was thinking off speed, you know he was, and then he zips the fastball in, and about that time that hits the glove, he's walking back to the dugout saying, man, I probably should have swung at that.
That'll happen.
That will happen. When you got good off-speed stuff, those fastballs will creep in on you.
Aaron Judge has 3 hits in this series. They're all singles. And talking to Tarek Skubal, who gave up one of those singles to Judge, he was like, look, even an RBI single against Aaron Judge is actually a win.
No doubt. Keep him in the ballpark, keep him from doing damage. I mean, if you said, if you were in game 3 of the series and you said, okay, here's your options. Aaron Judge has 3 homers, 2 doubles, and a single, or he has 3 singles. Which one would you pick?
Yeah.
Simple to pick.
And that's from one of the most competitive people going, Tarek Skubal, right? Like a single is a single, and it's not going to hurt you that much. As that is downstairs, 1-2 on the slider. Nice take by Judge. He's seen a lot of breaking balls, a lot of off-speed stuff from the Tigers so far in this series.
You had pulled up his numbers on the fastball before the series, and they're like, why do people keep throwing him fastballs? 70-some% of fastballs is what he's doing his damage on.
Yeah, it was about 60% fastball he'd seen coming into this series, and you see since 2022 the slugging percentage tells the story. You feed him a fastball and he's going to feast. Or he might. Two and two. Fouled away. So OPS in a variety of different circumstances. Yeah, he's pretty. 2 strikes.
2 strikes. He's got an over 800 OPS.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
It's unreal. It's unreal. When they all start with a 1, when they all could pass as years, that's a problem.
That's like a best week of my life.
Here's StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Here is how the Tigers have pitched him so far, and you see the predominant. Yeah, when that finally slides over, like it's not a lot of fastball.
No, and they're going to stay down and away, down. Don't let him get the ball in the air. I mean, that's the goal.
Did you like me yelling at StatCast when that finally slides over?
Come on, StatCast. Wake up.
Well, it has to filter in all the different pitch types, and that's
So
the
many
point, though.
types. Yeah.
Like, you have to show them everything, and the
Yeah.
Tigers have.
The delay button. Loading.
Creating. 3-2, a little piece of it. There's the curveball from Flaherty.
And you can see they've been getting a lot of contact on the end of the bat with Judge. Keeping him out in front on that front foot, a little off balanced. Then also what happens is he tries to make adjustments to off speed. Now he's not quite on the fastball the same way he was. But you still have to execute location.
And that is if you're going to throw him a fastball, there is as fine as it gets.
Location, execution. One of the things Flaherty's done so well since coming to the Tigers is just consistency. Just relentless hitting spots in the zone, throwing his slider down and away.
3-2 breaking ball. See you later. Jack Flaherty with an impeccable mix there for Judge.
Flaherty is not a hitter-friendly guy right now because the pitch locations, the curveball, the fastball, coming back to the curveball, I mean, you see where those are dotted up at, and that is not a fun day at the office if you're a major league hitter when you're getting looks like that.
Here's Bellinger, just off food poisoning, which Aaron Boone said was from chicken wings, maybe.
What? Chicken wings, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, kind of an insult to the chicken wing. It's like he's got chicken wings getting blamed for something that he may or may not have done.
That's right. You're going to have a libel suit on your hands from the chicken wing lobby. It's a sequel to Call Me Maybe. It's Chicken Wings Maybe.
Yeah.
0-2 on Bellinger. There's a changeup outside. 1-2 from Flaherty.
He's got lots of options. Bellinger can be a little susceptible to the high heater. He's got a back foot slider he can throw in there.
1-2. Wave and a miss. Oh, did you say back foot slider, Andy Dirks? Is that what you said? Back foot slider?
Ordered it up. Flaherty delivers it. Nice button pushing by Dingler. Look at this arm angle. Wow.
Max Fried trying to induce some of those today. The Tigers have been pretty good at hitting the ball in the air. Spencer Torkelson at 31% ground ball. Malloy 31%. Native Californian Max Fried on the hill, 10 1/3 after the 8-year contract that he signed with the Yankees this offseason. You see his career ground ball rate, and there is a ground ball directly at the third baseman Cabrera. So one away. Andy Ibanez, the hitter. FanDuel's home run odds for today's game, including Andy at +1,000. Justin Henry Malloy, the biggest number for the Tigers, at +680.
That's a bigger number than 1,000?
Well, I guess the top number is what I should have said. And, you know,
It's
I
like
thought
golf.
it as I said it,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like golf.
I can't.
The smaller number is better?
No, yeah, I can't slide anything by you. I knew you were going to say something about it, too. 0-1. You mentioned Fried and Flaherty, both from California, both growing up there. And Max Fried couldn't be any more of a California kid. He was born January 18th, 1994, the day after the devastating Northridge earthquake 31 years ago now. He was born, his mom had him in a condemned hospital. So there was so much destruction and devastation in California, in Southern California. There were very few hospitals that were taking patients, so they had to drive around to find a hospital where they could have Max. And they, in fact, left the hospital with him like the next day.
Yeah, that's stressful.
Yeah, because they didn't know the building might collapse.
Oh, wow.
Was the thought.
Wow. Yeah.
So they moved in with some family for a little while, and after that long road to Earth, Max Fried became an electric athlete.
Shook things up out of the womb.
Yeah, I mean, right away. Can you imagine though?
No, I can't. You know, I've had some kids, and it's stressful enough when 75's not backed up, and you know you got to get to the hospital.
Yeah,
I can't imagine if the ground was shaking and there's no.
Yeah, they literally did not know if the building was sturdy enough to house patients for that long, as there is a chopper foul by Ibanez.
This is going to be key for the Tigers because Fried will get you into 2-strike counts. It's your ability to battle. Make him throw pitches. Try to get deep into his arsenal. Make him use a lot of pitches early, because we know there's probably only one other lefty in the bullpen available today, potentially.
That's strike 3. It's the cutter from Fried, and there are 2 away here in the first inning. The defense for the Yankees has Dominguez in left, Bellinger back in, and Judge in right, Cabrera and Volpe, Chisholm Jr. and Goldschmidt, and then J.C. Escarra, who is a tremendous story in his own right for the Yankees behind the plate. We will tell you about his story when he walks up to the plate for the first time. Escarra, the catcher, who's right there with Riley Green. But you talk about a rags to riches story. He is one of them. 1-0 is in for a strike. Ball and a strike on Riley Green. Is looking for his first hit of the series. The Tigers have put up good enough numbers to win 2, and Riley hasn't really been a major factor in this series at the plate.
You know, most of his at-bats have been against lefties, and he's been pitch tough. I mean, they're throwing him that slider away, fastballs in off the plate, and a lot of breaking pitches away. And they know, you know, when a guy's hot, when a guy hits like Riley does, there's going to be some series that it's pretty tough. But Fried's splits aren't exactly, you know, crazy good against lefties compared to righties.
Yeah, Riley's that guy now who is targeted by the other manager when he can bring in a lefty, when Aaron Boone can bring in a lefty to face Riley Green, he's going to do it.
Yeah, and even he pinch hit the other day to draw a righty out or draw a lefty out of the bullpen.
Yeah, to get somebody else a good at bat after. And Riley has the temperament for that too, you know.
Yeah, he can take on the tough. Your best players are going to take on the hardest roles a lot of times. You know, the guys who are middle of the road. Managers are trying to put guys in spots to succeed, and it's usually going to be dependent on your better players to take the brunt of really tough situations because, well, they're just better.
Yeah, you expect more.
You expect more
out of them.
They're your A students. I was more of a C average kind of guy, and Riley is definitely an A student.
You got the credits.
Hey, still passed. It was passing.
You took every class pass fail. You just didn't tell the teacher.
Yeah.
3-2 on Riley Green. And a ground ball foul. Part of the reason Riley is in the 3 spot, lefty versus lefty, is because, as A.J. Hinch mentioned earlier today, there might be only one available lefty in the Yankee bullpen.
Better matchups later in the game.
On the ground into center field, a base hit for Riley Green, who just battled and defended himself into a base hit.
Ground balls have been a trend. If you're going to hit a ground ball, it's good to hit them where they ain't. Probably gets it right back up through the box. Gets something going, but contact. Bonetti, if you make contact, you got a chance.
Yeah.
It's better than a strikeout in that situation. And like you said, he's got a 55% ground ball rate. He is not easy to get in the air. You're hoping for a mistake, something up in the zone.
What is it about his stuff?
It's a sinker, man, and everything's got movement. And if you see his arm angle from the left side, he creates a pretty good angle coming into home plate. It's just not a normal look. You know, usually if you get, you'll face lefties, but he's kind of lanky, he's kind of long, 3/4 arm slot. And if you watch when the ball comes in, it's got that kind of 45-degree angle coming down towards home. Little sink on it, little run, and then a big curveball.
That is a big yacker.
Yeah, you see lots of legs coming at you, elbows, arms. He drops the ball back behind him, and when he comes through the zone, you see how his arm kind of comes out and around, a little less over the top, and everything's moving. It's cutting, it's sinking. His four-seamer's moving.
And also, to those last two pitches, the leg kick is in a different rhythm, too. The previous pitch, he was much slower in the drive home.
Yeah. Varying his times to the plate. That does two things. One, it helps hold runners on, and two, it does disrupt the hitter's timing.
Green at first, 1-2. Towards second on one hop, and Chisholm just has to fight it off and then a hop over the oncoming Riley Green. That was eventful.
It out because it starts. It looks like a fastball coming in, and the bottom drops out.
Lasso breaking balls.
Lasso, yeah, coming around the side. Yippee-ki-yay, you know? Yeah. Lasso him in there. Little spin, you know, you get the spin action on it.
Yeah.
You never thrown a rope?
Why does that shock you? Have we met? Hi, I'm Jason. Ball one to Goldschmidt. It was at a really nice series, 5 for 8. The Tigers have made some pitches against him, and he's just been better.
He has. Up and in fastball yesterday, hit it for a knock, hit a breaking ball down and away, hit it the other way. Goldschmidt's been a good hitter, well, probably ever since he was born. This guy's put up numbers everywhere he's ever been. Last year was his first year, was down just a tick. Back on it this year.
Foul third base side. Luis Rojas making the play.
When you got such a short swing like Goldschmidt has, and you're big and strong, and you got really good hand-eye coordination, that's a lot of good things going on.
And a sterling first baseman for the balance of his career as well. That is a 1-2 fastball that was tailing away, and he pokes it to right field. So one on, nobody out, and time for the Blue Moon Report. Daniela Bruce, hello.
Hi, Jason. And you guys have been talking about Dylan Dingler yesterday. He had to get in for Jake Rogers. They found out just an hour before game time, he and Scooble did. And Dylan Dingler talked to us post-game, and he said that he didn't panic per se, but there was a little bit of panic just because he hadn't done any of that prep work that you guys were talking about earlier in the broadcast. And now that Dingler is going to be playing a more prominent role with Jake Rogers on the injured list, I asked AJ Hinch what his biggest strengths are. Number one, he says that preparation. And number two, Dingler's ability to make in-game adjustments. You've seen him do that at every level he's been at, and now he's starting to learn how to do that at the major league level, guys.
We saw that exactly in the first inning yesterday. Tarek Skubal had a couple of fastballs that weren't bad fastballs, but they got hit, and then they went to the secondary stuff together.
Right away they did, and that's smart baseball. If guys hitting your pitches, mix it up. And good thing about Skubal, and really all the Tigers pitchers, they got good secondary pitches, and they can locate.
2-0 is outside, a slider. He lost control of it, 3-0. And you know, Casey Mize was talking about this. The grip on the ball on breaking balls when it's cold, sometimes you feel like you want to hang on to it for a little bit longer.
That makes sense. You know, everything's a little bit slicker when it's cold out. Your fingers don't grab things quite as well. There's not the moisture, humidity in the air to help get you a little more tack. So you're manually grabbing a little bit harder to make up for the difference.
Yeah.
And it's such a feel thing. Pitching is like with Flaherty, like finger pressure, release point, like all those things come into play for a guy when he's trying to hit a tiny little spot when your arm's going in motion about 500 miles an hour to deliver a ball 95, and you got to let it go at just the right time.
Tried to wrap around and couldn't, so he missed twice with a slider outside, and it's a walk for Jazz Chisholm Jr. So here is Anthony Volpe, who last year was featured in GQ before the season. They did a whole bit about him going to find a place to live.
Sure, he didn't
parents.
Get any flack about that in the clubhouse.
Well, that's why.
Nobody would have brought that up at all.
Never. It's funny. That's the first thing Paul Skeen said when he was in GQ this year before the season. He was like, I'm going to get worn out in the clubhouse.
And not just for 1 year.
Right.
For many years to come.
It stays with you.
Yeah. Oh, it will.
Yeah. 1-0 is pop foul.
And that's how nicknames are born, Benetti.
Did you have a? You were just like
I was
Dirksy.
never in GQ. Believe it or not, I never made that magazine.
What magazine would you most likely have been in?
Probably Field and Stream.
1-1 to Volpe. He lays off a ball just down. 2-1. He is 39% ground ball. There are not a whole lot of huge ground ball numbers in this lineup. He is one of the bigger ones. So maybe Flaherty can hunt that double play ball.
See him shaking there.
In for a strike, a fastball. He took a little bit off.
And that's probably what Flaherty's thinking. You know, let's work that fastball down, see if he can get him to hit the top of it. If not, go bottom rail, get your strike. Dingler's probably going to want to go slider away, try to get a strikeout.
There goes the bat and the batter. That's at least the silver medal in javelin. It got all the way to the outfield grass.
137 feet, your new leader in the bat toss for the day. And when Casey Mize was talking about, you know, not getting quite as good grip on the ball, same way with the hitters. The sticky stuff you use performs better when it's hot. It's not as gooey when it's cold. So that's bound to happen.
Not as gooey when it's cold?
It's got to be gooey. That the little stick you use. When it's hot, it'll even start melting a little bit.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's like hard candy when it's cold.
There's a strike on a fastball, 1-1 on Dominguez. 7 career home runs. Not a ton of major league experience, but one of those prospects that Yankee fans have heard about for a number of years. Big wave and a miss at one of those winding sliders.
Just executing pitches. Went with the fastball bottom rail right before this, but see how he gets on the side of that baseball and it is spinning at a high rate. That back foot slider to a lefty is devastating.
1-2. Swing and a miss. It's a curveball that time. And old Uncle Charlie has Flaherty's 5th strikeout.
He's got him all confused. He went bottom rail heater to this little back foot slider, and he goes, okay, yeah, make it start out over the plate. Okay, I'll do that, and I'll just take a little off, and it'll get a little more vert drop than horizontal drop.
So here is Escara, who, to make ends meet before his major league debut, this was 3 years ago, he was an Uber driver and a substitute teacher. He had to pay his mortgage somehow. He was down in his home area of Miami, and he was an Uber driver, substitute teacher, picked up Uber Eats every once in a while, and youth baseball coach along with some contract work too, as a contractor that is downstairs 1-1.
He's my kind of guy. I had a substitute teaching license.
Did you?
I did it in the off season. Back in the day, first year of pro ball.
Did you just put on movies?
Yeah. Yeah, it was movie day every day. Mr. Dirks' class.
I knew that. I didn't know that, but I really knew that.
But we'd watch like Rambo instead of like, you know.
In chemistry.
Yeah, in chemistry, you got it.
Escara at age 29 makes his major league debut, got his first hit in that Diamondback series, and now Flaherty has run the count to 3-1. You have to imagine to the 8-hitter here, this is going to be a fastball.
You would imagine that. That's textbook. Textbook would say fastball.
3-1. Outside with a fastball. The bases are loaded for Cabrera.
A little uncharacteristic for Jack to walk a couple in an inning. But he is a competitor. When he's on the mound, things aren't going quite the way he wants it to. He's usually can dig deep. Get back to quality pitches.
First pitch here is a strike. No matter how low you duck Oswaldo Cabrera, it's still going to be a strike. It's a nifty idea. Still crossed. 0-1. Grounded foul. Now Flaherty is at 0-2.
Yeah, now he's in the pole position. He can kind of decide how he wants to work him here. And you'd imagine he'll probably either go with a fastball somewhere outside, back foot slider, or that slow curveball down. He just got so many options. That's why I can feel for a guy like Dingler back there. When your pitcher's got lots of options, it can be tricky.
Take your pick. It's a curveball.
The good thing is if he executes any of them, you're not going to pick wrong with a guy like Flaherty, the way he can throw the baseball. And it also is confusing for the hitter because there's really not a pitch. You can't just set on, okay, he's definitely going to throw me a changeup here, right? So you're kind of in battle mode at this point.
You saw the pitch count flash across. 26 pitches this inning for Flaherty. 0-2.
Good idea. Run it up there to go back down. And just not a lot of contact here. A lot of foul balls and deep counts. No balls in play.
Yeah, just the one single by Goldschmidt on 2 strikes to start the inning. There's a looper foul down the left field line.
Man, you would think if he's able to make contact with that pitch, he'd be late on a heater. You would think.
So you go back to elevated fastball here?
Go fastball, because if he's kind of waiting, you know, because that was a really good pitch. That's a really tough pitch. And he got a little lumber on it. I can't imagine him being on time with a fastball.
He's hit the breaking ball well this year. Cabrera has. 1-2. Fly ball center field. It is Kreidler. Yankees leave him loaded, much to the happiness of Tarek Skubal, who threw well yesterday. He is scheduled to join us bottom.
Hey, you know, I thought Ding called a great game. I probably could have done a better job of getting ahead of guys early. You know, I think my first pitch strike percentage was about 50. So that should probably be a little bit higher. But other than that, you know, it was a good day. I executed some pitches when I needed to.
Talk about that Judge at bat. You know, first 2 guys get on, and then you're facing Judge, and it was kind of like the battle of the Titans. Got Cy Young versus MVP. What was kind of the thought process there?
Yeah, it's not exactly how you want to draw it up. You know, you don't want the first 2 guys to get on and then face, you know, the best player in the big league. So, yeah, you know, you just got to continue to execute pitches and make pitches. You know, if I make pitches against him, I like my odds of getting him out. You know, this game's it's hard to hit. So, was able to execute some pitches and end with the punch out. You know, and then with the lefty on deck, searching for a ground ball there too, but. Obviously, that was my fault, you know, only getting one out there, but able to escape some damage. But that's not how you draw it up. You know, when you want to face Aaron Judge is when there's nobody on, so that way if he runs it out of the yard, it's just 1 run.
But you like the challenge.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, always. You know, I like to compete against the game's best, but I like being smart too. You know, oh, that was a late strike 3, huh? But
not as late as the strike 3 yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday's was pretty interesting. I had no idea if it was a blown call or what happened, but. I mean, I think you got it right at the end of the day, but it was just a little late.
Here's the pitch by pitch we're seeing to Judge. As that's going, like, how many pitches ahead are you thinking in that at bat? Or is it just 1 pitch?
Yeah, whichever one comes through the pitch column, that's the one I'm thinking about. You know, I like to be where my feet are. You know, I don't really want to think ahead or think in the past. I need to be focused on executing this next pitch, and then there's some subconscious stuff that goes on in between pitches. But and I know what I want to throw, you know, with my next pitch. But usually Ding, you know, and Raj and whoever we got back there, they're kind of on that same page.
Whenever you execute your pitch and the hitter hits it, and it goes out in the outfield somewhere, first of all, does that ever baffle you? Because you have pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes I actually think I should never go up ahead, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you tip your cap. You know, if you execute pitches and you're in your counts and then you continue to execute pitches and they put it in play and get a knock, I mean, you did everything you were supposed to do. You do that over and over and over and over again. I think the odds are going to be in your favor, just, you know, with the nature of hitting and the nature of just statistics of numbers and stuff like that. But I think the second pitch of the game was a great pitch to Goldie, and he was able to put a barrel on it and, you know, flare it out to center field. So, I mean, credit to him there.
I've been dragged into this conversation, this debate, by my partner all season about whether or not pitchers are athletes.
Well,
Scoob?
Yeah, I'm going to be the pro pitcher side here.
We're watching you make the one play where you looked at second and threw to first.
That was a little bobble.
That was a bobble. Hey, bobbles happen. It happens.
But now we're watching the little shovel pass to first, which was 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, we did that play 100 times in spring training, so we were ready for it. That was a point of emphasis this spring, was that exact play. And I remember telling the coaches, I go, hey, if this play ever happens in a game, it's a hit, 100 times out of 100. And I'm able to get it out there. So
totally.
Practice makes perfect. Yeah, practice makes perfect.
That's hilarious. You didn't even think you were going to make that play. That's great.
No, I didn't. But I back to the point, I think pitchers are athletes. I really do. And yes, there are some unathletic pitchers, but I could say the same thing about some position players that that just stand in the box and bang and hit homers. So, to each their own.
I love it. You said a little while ago, you said subconscious stuff between pitches.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Just stuff that happens, that you don't even think about. Like it's not really like a big thought. It's just kind of like the experience and knowledge of what your stuff does and kind of sequences and just the stuff that's actually going on in the game, but you're not really actively thinking about it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a good explanation, but that's just what it feels like. It happens so fast that there's not like an actual, you're not asking yourself a question and answering it. It's just a little bit different.
Like this interview, it happened so fast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that I appreciate it, guys.
Scoop, thank you.
Thanks, Scoop.
Yep, thank you.
Tarek Skubal, ladies and gentlemen. So much to Tarek Skubal for joining us. And that play he made over to first base, it's so interesting. You do all that work in spring training, and you just never know if it's going to actually happen.
Ever going to happen to you.
And even as you're doing the work, I know you've had that thought, like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially in spring training. Literally, they have to check the box on every single item that could happen in a baseball game. You're doing a lot of walkthroughs. You're standing around like a ball in the left center field gap, double cut to home. It's like, yeah, we've ran that play 5 million times in our life, but we're going to walk through it just so we can say we did.
Hey, a 2-0 slider. That's fun.
That's big leagues, man. It's insane. Well, and a guy like Rice, he can hit the ball out of the yard. So if you have any pop at all, 2-0 is not always a fastball count. And then look at him. He says, now you threw the one I wanted 2-0 on 2-1. If you'd have thrown that 2-0, I would have hit that a long ways.
2-2. Another swing and miss on a curveball. Flaherty is awesome today. 6 strikeouts.
He's just playing with him. Got down 2-0 in the count. Worked it all the way back to throw him that big curveball down and in. And I'm telling you, if I'm a left-handed hitter, I don't want to see that pitch. I think that's why Rice was a little frustrated early in the bat, because he had one fastball he could have swung at in, and he didn't.
He didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to see that curveball as a left-hander?
Because you're going to strike out. Because it's looking like it's a fastball, middle. Your brain says trigger, go, and it looks like a good pitch out of hand, and the bottom drops out, and you're too far over the top of it. You're covering it too much. You're going to whiff. Not a good feeling.
Flaherty versus Judge. 2 guys who were in the World Series last year. It's so interesting watching Jack, and A.J. Hinch mentioned this before the game, that Jack Flaherty always has this like simmering, steady level of competitiveness that's high, but how he competes with himself. And that is 100% true. That is the essence of Jack Flaherty, as that's fouled away. But there are some specific times we've seen a little extra, and you see him zoning in right there, right? Like he is just locked in. He's talking to himself. He's having the conversation. But we saw him against his former team last year, the Cardinals, and he struck out 14. It was one of those special games as Judge hits it high in the air to right field, and McKinstry for out number 2. So that's all true, that Jack Flaherty is self-competitive. But then you have Max Fried on the other side. They are close friends. Max and Jack have had different careers in the majors. They've both dealt with injury stuff, but it's not about showing the other guy up. It's just like there's a connection there, and it gets a little bit more out of somebody. And I kind of think we're seeing a little bit of that Jack today too.
Yeah, he's locked in. He's dialed. You know, some guys arise to the moment and some guys don't. And those moments are created in a lot of different ways and a lot of different ways in your own head, in your own personal mind space, right? So sometimes if there's a little nudge to get you a little bit more, you're going to lean into that as a player, because it's nerve-wracking to go out on a big league mound and throw. So anything you can do to provide that little mental edge, you're going to take it and you're going to run with it. Whatever storyline you have to tell yourself.
Yeah.
That's the way I was. I think that's the way all professional athletes are.
Yeah.
Like, there's a storyline you're developing in your head to go out and compete. And some people play from the behind, like, hey, I'm the underdog mentality is a mentality. Some people are like, I'm the better than you mentality. Both of those play. Like, some guys run with one more than the other.
2-2 is another punch out. Tickets everywhere being punched by Jack Flaherty. So, 2003, famed Harvard Westlake alum. Giolito and Fried, the same class. Jack Flaherty was 2 years younger. He was the shortstop, and the other two were kind of the big guys on campus. Fried for the 1 year after Giolito helped recruit him there. And then Bryce Rayner, the Tigers' first-round pick just last year, will let us keep using these pictures of Harvard Westlake for years and years to come.
He can play too, right?
Yeah,
He's
he
good.
can.
Athletic guy.
We had a chance, Dan and I did, to have him on the Have a Seat podcast last year, Bryce Rayner. There's ball one to Kreidler. Picked up for a second season, by the way, I'm told, the Have a Seat podcast.
Well, congratulations.
The network brass have picked up Have a Seat for a second season. It was because of that Dirks Petrie episode at the end of the year.
Kind of saved it
year.
right at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we'll do it another year.
If you can have those guys on.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. 2-0 on Kreidler, who is a UCLA alumnus, and he grounds it to shortstop against Fried, who is actually committed to UCLA, as there's one away. A little hop by Goldschmidt took care of the throw by Volpe. If Tigers scored 3 or more runs in this game, you can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of curly fries. One down for Zach McKinstry and his OPS at 963 to start the year. That's versus lefties versus righties. He's done very well both ways so far, and Fried tries to arch in a curveball for him.
Just quality at bats too. Even when he's made outs, a lot of them have been productive, working the count, getting it lumbered to the baseball. He's kind of implemented that little toe tap to help with his timing, with his rhythm. A few guys have done that in the past. Barry Bonds, Prince Fielder, and they're all right.
1-1 is a big chop to the mound, and Fried handles it for out number 2. By the way, Paul Goldschmidt has him in his vertical tested out here this half inning.
Yeah, he's been solid at first his whole career. His knees aren't as young as they used to be, though. He's probably going to tell the guys, hey, young guys, keep this ball down. I don't want to have to jump more than I need to. It's early in the year. Save these legs.
Yeah, maybe one bullseye, like hit the middle once.
Middle of the middle.
Please.
And they're going to say, well, it's cold. I can't get a good grip. It's like, you're a big league ball player. Figure it out. That's kind of the combo.
I could hear that entire conversation going on in a clubhouse. 0-1 to Jahan, who grounded out on the first pitch he saw in his first at bat. I feel like this might be one of those days where nobody's getting curly fries. And the Yankees wouldn't even get curly fries. I feel like the first team to score might win this thing today.
Yeah, the pitching right now is pretty dominant. Guys hitting spots, mixing pitches. And like you'd mentioned, I mean, both of these guys are throwing against one another. There's that added little thump in there that this isn't just a normal Wednesday in Comerica Park, 45 degrees in April.
No. This is special for those two. They've been on the same field before, but they've never dueled like this. 1-2, shattered bat into left center. That's a base hit. Justin Henry Malloy with shards of baseball bat everywhere.
When the hitting is tough, the tough get hitting. And you have to be tough to take that ball in off the label, hang in there like a trooper, suck the hands through. It doesn't hurt as bad when the bat breaks and you get a hit. Happy day.
If we were doing a talk show, I would ask you, but what if it was a torpedo bat?
Torpedo bats. A bat's a bat.
Here's Ibanez. Right to Volpe. And that is that. Couple of hits for the Tigers in the ball game. Jack Flaherty's given up just one. It's all pitcher, all longtime friends, Flaherty and Fried.
Exciting giveaways and unforgettable moments at Comerica Park. Customize your plan at tigers.com/flex.
Great job, by the way.
I mean, I don't know why you guys are putting so much pressure on me all of a sudden with this.
Oh, yeah, it's us. Kreidler in center field, tailing it back. He makes the catch. Goldschmidt is out. Jack Flaherty is allowed just the one hit, 2 Goldschmidt, 7 strikeouts. And we mentioned the whiff rate for the Tigers. That is big money encountered today by Menards. Tigers at 29 and change. That's second in Major League Baseball. And whatever you do as a pitching staff, if you can miss bats like that, you're probably going to have a top 10 season as a group.
No doubt. Less contact equals less hits, less base runners.
First base, Spencer Torkelson. That was quick. 2 down. It's a swing and miss so far for Flaherty.
What kind of whiffs has he been getting here? Well, you know he's getting them on the breaking balls. There's a slider. There's the slow one. Just when you think you can get the slider. Oh, now back to the slider, and guess what? Slow one. Oof. Man, that's a tough pitch. It's impossible to hit that.
11 swings and misses. 10 have come on the breaking stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how good it is. And then he'll throw that once in a while. He's been throwing that little bottom rail fastball to keep you honest. That keeps you honest because you're like, well, it could be the fastball, and I don't want to sit up here looking like an idiot and just taking a fastball. And then everybody's like, why didn't you swing at the fastball? I thought it might be the slider.
But that's the purpose behind tunneling, right? To make one look like the other and then split them off. Take the off-ramp as close to the plate as possible.
Exactly. Same out of hand, completely different landing point.
Volpe to third. That's directly at Ibanez, and that is not many pitches at all. 5 of them for Jack. Teams, 15 seasons, both the Yankees and the Tigers. And Andy, I know he was a teammate of yours back in 2012.
Yeah, heartbreaking. Still today, very heartbreaking news. Dotel was an awesome teammate. Awesome guy.
Riley Green to left field and one away. What was it about Octavio
He
Dotel?
was infectious with his energy, his smile, his attitude. Always had a great attitude. And as the season wears on, you know, there's different guys that kind of pick things up. And he was funny, and he was quick-witted and loud.
Was it?
Yeah, he was loud in the greatest way possible.
Well, what's an example? What goes in your mind?
The bus would pull up, like we're on the airplane. Hey, bus is here, and he'd yell it on the plane. And it's like, you know, at that moment, it's 2 in the morning. You're getting off an airplane, and you're like, okay, life isn't as bad. If Dotel's having a good time, I might as well too, you know. But just absolutely heartbreaking news, and especially for, you know, the Dominican baseball community, because I mean that is the most tight-knit baseball community that there is. Those guys live together, hang out together all those years. They still do things together 24/7. So, you know, and I played in the Dominican for 2 winters, so I know a lot of those guys. It's just difficult when it's sudden and unexpected and all the things that you don't want it to be, but it is.
Nelson Cruz's sister as well passed away in the roof collapse, and it just awful news from around Major League Baseball. I'm sorry for your loss, and to Octavio's family, from the entire Tigers community. Just terrible news that came through yesterday, and we were hoping as the news stories came through that it wouldn't be what the initial report was, and just terrible.
But I guarantee, you know, he would say, hey, enjoy the game today.
Is that right?
Yeah, he would, you know.
3-1 ground ball past third. Cabrera dove over top of it, and Spencer Torkelson is on once again.
The new approach still working, Jason. Sneaks that one through, but if you've noticed, lots of ground balls today. Got a couple to sneak through the hole. Still waiting on a pitch that's elevated up a little bit that you can get under. I mean, just that arm angle, what he does, and this is why he's so good. Lots of balls on the ground. Pretty good strikeout rate. Doesn't walk a lot of guys.
Ground ball wide of third foul. He's been pretty efficient as well. He's at 50 pitches here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you're telling yourself, like, hey, I got to hit down. I got to get under that baseball. I got to get it in the air. But your brain can only process information so quickly, and you're just used to swinging on a certain plane. And his delivery, his motion, the way the ball spins out of his hand, just gets under barrels.
0-1. That winds in for a strike. That serpentine sweeper.
Man, it is not a good day to be a hitter so far today. But the cool thing about that is you just keep going. Because at some point, maybe he hangs that breaking ball. Maybe he leaves that fastball up a little bit.
All it takes is one. We saw it yesterday in the AL Central. The White Sox and Guardians went into the bottom of the 9th scoreless. And then Mike Clevenger walked in the winning run against his former team, so Cleveland got the win. But Cincinnati won yesterday 1-0. It's early on.
Oh no, and these pitchers are good. There's a lot of good pitchers around the league, and any day a guy can be on. Doesn't have to be one of the best like we're watching today either.
Strikeout for Fried. That is his 5th of the ball game, and now a message from Figer Law.
Make Figer Law your first call and get the justice you deserve. Figer Law. All we do is win.
Mention the White Sox. I am pretty certain their pitching coach, Ethan Katz, watched at least a portion of this game before he headed to the ballpark in Cleveland, because he was the pitching coach for both Flaherty, Fried, and then also Lucas Giolito at Harvard Westlake.
No kidding.
Yeah, so Ethan knows all 3 of them. He coached Giolito in Chicago. Ethan got a chance to say hi to Jack when they were in town. They got a chance to spend some time together, and obviously still very close as well, all 3 of them with Ethan Katz. And you just think about, like, even the coach at Harvard Westlake has said before, like, in Southern California, you get the chance to coach some guys that are really talented. And little do you know that you're going to have 3 of them all at the same time who are going to be major leaguers. And I love that photo because it is the perfect Jack Flaherty photo. Fried and Gio are smiling, big smiles, and Jack's like, give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Let's go play.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was probably a pretty good staff. Tough high school staff there.
I mean, try to beat them any given day.
I mean, if they could hit at all.
That's right.
Like at all.
And Jack did. Jack thought he was going to be a shortstop.
Yeah.
Until he got to his senior year of high school.
And they were like, you throw way too well to play shortstop.
Ethan Katz said to him, like, no. Like, you're probably going to be a pitcher, dude.
Yeah.
Two and two. That's called strike 3.
Tough day.
Torkelson stranded over at first, and the inning comes to an end. But just really sad news for you and so many baseball people. Octavio Dotel, former Tiger.
Love you, Octi.
Comerica Park. It's the Tigers and Yankees, and we are scoreless. Jack Flaherty gets a first pitch swing. There's torque to Jack. Jack might be pretty long for this game. He keeps getting outs on first pitches. 3 of the last 4 outs have come on the first pitch.
Yeah, been a common theme other than one inning for both guys, Fried and him. A lot of ground ball outs. A lot of early contact. But they're both getting a lot of strikeouts too. I mean, this is just pitching.
Yeah, they're both dominant.
Dominant is a good word. Excellent is also a good word. Phenomenal.
First pitch to Escara. It's a strike. So kind of the postscript to the 3 pitchers that we saw in the last half inning, Giolito, Fried, and Flaherty. Lucas and Max left. They were seniors when Jack was a sophomore. So Jack was the kind of guy who ruled the roost the next year. And he brought them to the championship, which he won basically on his own. He threw 6 innings of shutout ball at Dodger Stadium, and he drove in the only run of the game.
Yeah.
1-0.
That's when you know you're a little bit different.
Yeah.
You start doing things like that.
Giolito was up at like 1 in the morning, he said, because it was a late game on the West Coast and at spring training. And he was watching on some stream on his phone, watching Jack dominate. And he said to a reporter a number of years ago, he said, that's when I knew Jack was going to be a dude. Because those other guys leave and he takes over and he just, talk about dominating a game.
Yeah.
He was basically the only player in the game.
Yeah.
And there's another punch out. Jack Flaherty is smoking hot right now.
Location, location, location. It's good in real estate and for sliders. I mean, he is throwing this ball where he wants it over and over. Talk about execution.
And yet again, just because you duck doesn't mean it's not going to be a strike. Oswaldo Cabrera.
Get small, get small, get small. Look how small my strike zone is.
Center field. Kreidler a dead run. He's not going to get there. Cabrera dunks it in center and flips the card over. And we invite you to suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, T-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Tigers gear. Ben Rice is 2 of the 8 punch-outs. There's some Tigers gear for you in the stands. Some folks have stepped aside from work a little bit early today, or maybe missed chemistry class, or, you know.
Yeah, some of the things. Maybe they didn't attend certain things, but they came to the other thing. That guy has his shades on, incognito. Sorry, buddy, we can recognize you by your beard.
Well, the other guy had his hood up, right? So, like, just in case the boss might be watching.
Yeah, keep your hood up, keep the shades on, keep a low profile. Found you.
They're like, why do you have to keep showing us, though? Like, there are a lot of other people that are skipping stuff. We love you made it to the ballpark, no matter who you are, where you are in the stands. Thank you for making the Tigers your priority this Wednesday afternoon.
And snacks.
You just get lost in that there.
Oh, man.
Just put the whole head in. It's outside, 3 balls and a strike. Oh, look at this. Skip day wish list. Sweep is number 1. There's no I in team. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Autographs, foul ball, popcorn.
All good.
Some more likely than others. In the air, left field. Riley Green is underneath. Tigers still looking for that sweep. A first run would go a long way. Tigers.com/April. 72 and sunny in a sweep. Oh boy. Look out, Javi. Ball 1.
That'll wake you up. Get the juices flowing.
The smelling salts of pitches. And then he's right back to the changeup.
And then he does that. Yep. That's pretty classic.
It's really impressive how much of his stuff he can throw for a strike.
It is. Both of them. I mean, they've been peppering corners. Bottom of the zone, down, getting lots of ground balls, strikeouts. And usually, you know, some days there's a fight at the bat rack, and other days you want to stay as far away from that thing as possible.
2-1 is swung through 2-2.
It's just hard to get in rhythm. It's hard to be in time. The ball's diving. It's sinking. Just when you think, okay, I might get a heater in this count, they throw an off-speed pitch. Just when you think they're coming off speed, they go bottom rail fastball. Like that.
Right there, strike 3. Yep.
I mean, and that's why hitting is tough, especially when they're throwing multiple pitches for strikes in whatever location they want, in any count they want. Just when you think you're settled into an off-speed pitch, man, they just throw the fastball kind of middle down, and you think it's going to break out of the zone, and by the time you recognize fastball, it's just way too late.
Yeah.
And I mean like way too late.
Here's Kreidler. By the way, how hard is hitting in Major League Baseball right now? There are 4 games going on in varying degrees of completeness. Top of the first, bottom 5 here, top 5, top 8. Nobody's scored a run in Major League Baseball today. Nobody. I think he went around. Strike 2. 4 games, no runs.
Sometimes it's tough. It's a battle.
It's tough.
Sometimes you wake up to battle. Rise and grind, baby. Here we go.
You couldn't
Major
even
League
get through.
Baseball. Casey Mize is worried about whether or not they can get enough sticky on their hands. On a cold day. These guys are out here just breaking their hands off. I mean, there's been like 5 broken bats.
Yeah.
Lumber flying everywhere.
Half the hits have been on broken bats today, I feel like. Kreidler vaults this straight away. Bellinger, off his bout with the chicken wings, makes the catch. Now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Check out these great vehicles today, only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Who will have the big swing today in this ball game? The Tigers and the Yankees scoreless. The Tigers trying to win their first 6 home games in a season since 1911, the year the first Indy 500 got run.
In a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's been a minute. It's hard to do.
McKinstry gives it a ride left field toward the corner, and that ball is a fair baseball deep into the corner. Zach has triple eyes here, and he is in standing up. There's some action deep into the corner with a 2-out triple.
This is why Zach's playing today. He's been hitting the ball hard everywhere, and you can see as he makes his turn, he's not slowing down. As soon as he saw a little bobble, never broke stride. And those are smooth strides, too. Sometimes those caroms can play funny things with your mind, with your imagination, and with your glove. Sir bobbles a lot on the case.
One more little bobble, that might be an inside the park. John.
Yeah. Job by McKinstry, never breaking slide.
Already his second triple of the year for Zach. 1-1 on Malloy. All it takes is a wild pitch here. Oh, it won't be the first run of the day. The Marlins have scored, ladies and gentlemen. The Marlins have scored a run. They're the first
they
to
beat us
score.
to it. Beat the Tigers to it. You know, in Dominguez's defense, out there, defense out in left field, it's been a pretty boring game on the defensive side of the ball. A few ground balls, some strikeouts, and a lot of standing around the cold.
You get a little zapped out there?
Yeah, you're just standing there hours on end. And then they finally hit me one, and I mess it up.
Malloy pulls it foul, strike 2. Kreidler was talking about that the other day. He was like, yeah, the thing about the outfield is I don't have anybody to talk to. And at Dodger Stadium, it's loud. They have a loud sound system. He was like, I was trying to yell to my left and right. Nobody could hear me.
Nobody's even listening either.
No.
They're not even looking at you, Kreidler. Just stay on your island.
You know that feeling, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
you're
you're
just
out.
like, I want to talk to somebody.
Just out on an island. You just talk to yourself.
Well, that's
I mean, you gotta
that's a very Dirks thing to do.
deep thought in yourself. Malloy's deep thinking right now on what he might be thrown. One of the better 2-strike hitters on the squad. Knows how to work a count.
2-2. Struck him out with a fastball. All set up by the secondary stuff. It's plus 300. Somebody's going to have to score, so we're going to get to 1, but I don't know it's going to be much more than that.
Not at this rate. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of ground balls. It's usually not a recipe for much scoring.
Aaron Judge has one of those strikeouts and a fly ball to right. Jack Flaherty facing him for the 3rd time today. And look, a first pitch breaking ball. It glides in
on the corner.
We mentioned day 1 of the series, but worth mentioning again, Aaron Judge, the most home runs in Major League history through 1,000 games, and it wasn't close. It was by 42 home runs. 321 was his number. And Judge hits a towering fly ball down the left field side, and that is foul.
Yeah, it's a long strike. That one backed up on him a little bit on Flaherty, that breaking ball. Supposed to go down, and it didn't.
Judge had his 6th home run in Game 7 this year. It's the fastest he's ever been to 6 home runs, and he's currently still at 6. The Tigers have not given up an extra base hit to him in this series. And he takes there a slider, 2-2.
Yeah, they're going to stay away from him. I think it's wise. They showed in with the fastball. He had that one breaking ball backed up. Definitely down and away. Dingler was set up inside there, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for good reason. It's kind of at the last second. It's like, let's bail on that plan right now. You don't feel like you can get it in there.
3-2. He missed ball 4. 3rd walk for Flaherty, and Bellinger will bat. Cody Bellinger's dad, Clay, was a Yankee back in the day. They are the 4th father-son duo to ever play for the Yankees. And 2 of the guys that are part of that are currently on the roster. Mark Leiter Jr.'s father played for the Yankees as well. The other 2 combos are Yogi and Dale Berra and Ron and Ike Davis. So if that comes up at pub trivia, you got it nailed.
It could. Win a free nacho.
Just one chip.
Getting ready to plug Holton in.
He's getting ready. Pitch number 88 from Flaherty is there for a strike, 0-2. Goldschmidt is next, and he has been a really tough customer in this series.
He's hit the ball hard everywhere.
Which makes this an even more important at bat in this game. There's Goldie. 6 hits, 10 at bats.
And some loud outs, too.
Another strikeout. Got to wait for it, and it's punch out number 9 for Jack.
They just can't see it. About the time it comes in, it's gone. That breaking ball has been really good.
Can you get Goldschmidt to hit it on the ground? He's been a major line drive hitter this year.
That's the goal. Sticking with the curveballs.
That's just on the curveball. 14 for strikes, 5 punch outs on it.
Good day to have it.
Another line drive from Goldschmidt, this to left field. Riley Green sees it go all the way to the wall. He throws it in and a stop sign at third. Judge into third base. The Yankees have 2 on with 1 out.
I think that'll probably about wrap up Flaherty's day. Man, Goldschmidt's hitting the ball good, isn't he?
Yes.
Man, that's a little slider down. Went down and got it. He's hit the heater. Holton's going to come in. Inherit a couple runners.
5 1/3, just 3 hits for Jack Flaherty. He leaves with 2 on in his dual. Window's call to the bullpen is to Tyler Holton, trying to put out this fire here in the 6th inning. 4 2/3, 4 strikeouts to his name so far this year. And you see the inherited runners number last year. He helped a lot of guys' ERAs last season.
And he did it with a multitude of pitches. He's basically a starting pitcher that can come out of the bullpen and command 6 pitches. He'll like the cutter and the sweeper, left on left here, 2 seam in. Get after it.
Chisholm reaches out to foul it away, strike 1. You'd love a strikeout if you can here. Jazz Chisholm is very much a fly ball hitter. He's 65% fly ball this year, and you see the left and right in his career. You do neutralize quite a bit of his potential left on left generally.
See if they can run one in on them hands and go back outside.
Judge right now, it's interesting. He was coming down the line when Holton got to his hold position. Then he took a step back as Holton was coming home, and Judge actually had to scramble to get in position to head home. We'll see if he would be coming home on a ground ball with the infield in. Right back to Holton, and he runs directly at Judge, bluffs it and played it beautifully. That is outstanding from Tyler Holton, the former position player in college. Just awesome.
You teed it up. It was contact play. Holton quick with it on the right side. Little pump fake. Tag, you're it. Good catch over there, Benetti. You saw him creeping down the line. Who says pitchers aren't athletes? Look at this guy. Do it, Holton.
Two down for Volpe. Brilliant play. Daniela, what'd you see down there?
You know, it's funny. We've got Casey Mize, Tarek Skubal, and Jack Flaherty, the starting pitchers for this series, huddled together, just dialed into this game right now. Casey Mize was the one that ran up to the fence to make sure he could get a good view of what Tyler Holton was doing on that play, and he reported back to the other two. So they really enjoyed that one right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Love it.
Mize, he's reenacting the play.
That's right. He's watching. Yeah, he's got it down.
So good.
Another good pitch.
On 2 strikes for Volpe. Oh, he reached out to spoil a really nice changeup.
That's a spot right there. Playing with him. Tickling the outside edge. He can go backdoor cutter. He can go heater up. He can go back foot slider. He could do any. There's so many things. So many fun things to do right now.
Testing the top of the zone with that cutter. Shove him off the plate a little bit.
Shove him off to work him in. You know the textbook. You know the baseball pitching 101 textbook. Get in there a little bit to go soften away a little bit.
1-2. Tyler Holton pivots to second. The 1-2. He took him down. Tyler Holton extinguishes the Yankees.
Little glove side and a beaut.
Play by Tyler closed out the Yankees in the top of the 6th to sunset that rally, and now Andy Ibanez trying to get the Tigers on the board. First pitch swing, and he hits it skyward. Bellinger straight away makes a catch. Back to that player. Call Sam. Best call.
I mean, you can't get faster and athletic, more athletic looking than that.
Look at the pitchers. Look at those guys.
See what he did out there? He bent down and he picked it up. And then he ran over there. Did you see that? What a play.
Tyler's very much an act like you've been there kind of guy, so he's not going to play in the
Very
reindeer games.
distinguished gentleman.
Riley Green's got to be like, are there right-handed pitchers in this league still? Do they have right-handed pitchers?
They no longer exist for Riley. It's been a tough go.
Strike 3.
And just when you think they're going to throw that ball away, that's why hitting is hard. It's like, okay, they're throwing a slider away, and then one backs up, and it kind of ties you up a little bit, and you can't get the bat to the barrel. You see right here, all of a sudden you realize, you see that little hesitation? He's like, oh no, that's dropping in for a strike. About the time you hesitate, you're a little too late at it.
Torque has had a couple of decent at-bats here
Mm-hmm.
in the game. He's got a base hit to left. He got ahead in the count there. He was 3-1.
Well, Ibanez got the ball in the air, which was, I mean, we haven't seen many of those, so hopefully things are working in the right direction.
To third, Cabrera. It's a 1-2-3 inning again for Fried at 80 pitches. Debut with the Colt 45s in Houston.
I didn't know that was a team.
Before they were the Astros, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Orlando Cepeda, good luck. 72 with the Tigers was the best season of his career. He went to Central High School in Knoxville, the same school where Todd Helton, who once held a clipboard for Peyton Manning at Rocky Top, was a baseball and football star. Knoxville Central High School. 1 year in Detroit for Mr. Zachary. The Tigers won the American League East.
That was a good year. Todd Helton could rake.
He was outstanding. It wasn't his fault he played in Colorado. He's a great hitter no matter where he went.
No, he's kind of left-handed version of like Paul Konerko's.
It's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
One quote from Zachary, our Tiger of the Day. He's described himself as being, at one point, he described himself as a pretty decent 10th man on a 10-man staff.
Yeah, so he had a sense of humor.
It's nice. Little piece there fouled away. He is in the Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
There is. Are you in a Hall of Fame?
I am in a Hall of Fame.
Which one?
Hutchinson Community College.
Look at you.
HCC. Hall of Fame.
You were inducted when?
I think I was still playing. So 2013-ish.
Nice.
Yeah. My parents accepted the award on my behalf.
You're evidently in the Kansas Baseball Hall of Fame as well.
Oh, I'm in that one too.
Yeah, as of last year.
You're right.
You forgot already?
Yeah, I did. Yep, I'm in that one.
Hope they're not watching.
That's my bad, guys.
Andy's speech was, this will stay with me for my entire life. What a special night. 6 months later.
Hey, you know, baseball players have a short what? Yeah, memory.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That's what it is.
It's a ground ball foul, third base side. Like it was last year, dude.
I know, and then now that as soon as you said that, I was like, as soon as you asked me, I'm like, I'm probably going to mess this up and not think of something. It's kind of like the award ceremony, and I want to thank Tom, Jill, Bob.
Yeah, as close, didn't get it.
And you're going to forget one.
Yeah.
And that one's always going to be the one that everybody talks about.
Well, you just have to pause for a second.
I want to thank Pause.
Pause teaching people how to clap. 2-2, grounded foul by Dominguez, whose nickname is the Martian.
That's kind of a fun nickname.
Yeah, it's good. He also can be found on social media hitting avocados instead of baseballs.
Well, that's also fun.
Yeah.
I bet they explode if they're ripe.
They do. Editors, no, they do. There is strike 3. Baseball a little harder to hit than an avocado, we've learned yet again. And now a message from Rally House.
Play ball, Michigan. Shop the latest in Tigers style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
With Daniela Bruce downstairs, Kansas Baseball Hall of Famer Andy Dirks, I'm Jason Benetti.
Why, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
We
Hold the
normally in the broadcasting space, we introduce you like that to fans so they know your accomplishments.
Yeah.
We do it here so you know your accomplishments.
I have to be reminded. on a daily basis because I will forget.
That's another broken bat. Fly ball, Riley Green in left. Out number 2. That was not the sound you're looking for as a hitter.
Not saving any trees today. It has been a tough day on baseball bats, on hitters' hands, on hitters' minds and hearts. It's just a tough day to be a hitter. I've been there, guys. Hang in there.
You had some Aprils in Toledo and Erie. It had to have been freezing there too.
Seriously cold. The coldest was Creighton.
Oh,
we
yeah.
played in Omaha at the old Rosenblatt, and it was snowing, and I was playing center field, and I couldn't see the hitter. It was snowing so hard.
Really?
I was yelling, I can't see him. And the umpire was looking at me, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, oh, maybe take us off the field?
Do you have a ball come at you?
No, didn't.
That's good. That's a called strike. Tyler Holden shaves off the corner, 0-2. So Cabrera, his first 2 at-bats, was worried about the vertical from Flaherty. He ducks, then he gets east-wested to death on that strike 2. Tigers in the home 7th will have Dingler, Keith, and Baez. The hope is you can get Fried out of this game.
Got to get him out. Or one pitch stays up. Maybe get hit by a pitch, get a runner on, hit a bomb. Who knows?
Line drive. 2 for 3 for Cabrera.
That's about the hardest hit ball we've seen in 4 innings, 5 innings.
Tigers have 3 of the 4 hardest hit balls of the game. The Goldschmidt flyout actually is only out of the game as the hardest hit ball today. Dingler keeps it in front, ball 1. Ben Rice, who didn't really play as a freshman at Dartmouth, then lost a season and a half to COVID in the Ivy League. He was quoted once by saying, they were asking, what did you learn at Dartmouth? I think it was for the Dartmouth School magazine. He said, you can really earn your way into getting better. I think that's great advice for young people who maybe don't play on their baseball team right now. Like, you can earn your way into getting better is great advice. And Rice gives this a long ride. McKinstry is back at the warning track, and that ball clangs back in. It is right now an RBI double, but they're going to say it went over the yellow line. It's a 2-run homer for Rice, and the Yankees have the first runs of the ball game. That is reviewable, and it's an auto review on a home run like this, but it looked like it went over the line.
Yeah, I think it did, and that was just a sinker that didn't sink. Just stayed middle in, and Rice just turned on it. Definitely over the line. One mistake. Just when you know, that's baseball, man.
Yeah.
Just when you have the things going, pitching staff. It's really been one of the only balls out over the plate. Just wasn't missed.
That is the first lead of the series for the New York Yankees.
Got to bear right back down. Guy at the plate's no joke.
There's another scalding ground ball to the same space he hit 1-2 earlier in the series in game 1. It's a single with 2 out.
Yeah, you talked about this, Jason, earlier in the series, that his ground balls, even when they look like they're just normal ground balls, they're hit just a little bit harder than everybody else's, and that ball just takes off. Tips right off Javi's glove. Good effort. But now you got to limit the damage. Got 2 outs. Go at Bellinger. Work that sweeper away. You can go fastball up and in on him too. Left on left.
That's called a ball. Looked like it was a strike. It was close. Bellinger, 3 strikeouts against Flaherty, who went 5 1/3 and did not give up a run. That's a strike. But this Tigers team has come back. We saw it on Sunday against the White Sox, trailing into the 9th. A couple of walks, a ground ball that gets beaten out. That could have been a double play. And another broken bat. Just one more for the road. Ibanez at third makes the catch, but Ben Rice has given the Yankees the lead on a 2-run home run. Deep to right center for the Yankees' second-year man. Figer Law's 7th-inning stretch right now. Tigers trying to come back now.
Still got the work cut out for him. Fried still in the game. Been dominant, lots of strikeouts, ground balls.
And with the lead, Aaron Boone has decided to make a change defensively. Dominguez is out of the game. Trent Grisham comes in to play center. Bellinger moves to left. You make different moves as a manager with the lead and trailing in the game. And Aaron Boone trying to protect this lead now with Fried on the mound at just 82 pitches deep. There is Booney. Saw him at a St. John's Marquette basketball game in February. Got to talk to him for a couple minutes, Bill Raftery and I. As that to third is scorched. Past Cabrera into left. And there goes Wheels Dingler into second base.
Well, if you're going to be hitting ground balls, you might as well hit them hard, and then run. Fleet of foot. Look at that inside turn. Catchers are athletes too, Jason.
Oh, now you're on the everybody's an athlete bandwagon. This is the back pedal of the week.
Did you see? Cora was willing him, and he was in the third base coach's box telling him to go.
You saw the celebration at second base. Daniela, you finally asked what that celebration is.
Oh, yeah, I've been waiting for this answer. I always love to hear the new Sully story. So that's actually from the original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. So going back a few years, Macho Man has a appearance in there, and his name is Bonesaw in the movie, if you remember the scene. Jason, you and I got a refresher earlier today watching the scene from the movie. And if you look, he's sawing his bone. That's the Bonesaw signal. So that's when Spider-Man steps into the ring with Bonesaw. That's where that came up. That's where that came from. And I'm gonna give you guys a guess as to who came up with that. Who do you think was the initiator of this Sully?
Here's a fly ball first into left center field, and it is Bellinger, no tag. I'm gonna recuse myself because I heard the answer.
Oh, Andy, do you have a guess?
Guess any Tigers player
that helped come up or
now or
initiated
former?
that. It's now.
The guy who came up with the
that.
Bonesaw thing.
Yeah.
Who's crazy enough to do that?
Bonesaw, Jake Rogers.
That's actually a good guess, but it was Tommy Kahnle.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, duh.
He came in with the Macho Man T-shirt, so that's what started it all.
He does have great T-shirts.
He does.
He's got a nice T-shirt collection.
And jerseys and just about everything else.
Yeah.
Video games. Tommy's one of the most interesting men in the bullpen, in any bullpen, as there is strike one to Javi Baez trying to drive in Dingler here. Tigers down 2-0.
Third time through the order. They've seen some of the pitches he's been throwing. He got Javi with a fastball last time looking after he'd had a lot of breaking balls coming in for strikes. We'll see if he tries to sneak a fastball by him again, either this pitch or the next.
That's how he punched him last time. That fastball, basically middle.
Pitched him backwards.
There's Luke Weaver getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. We thought it might be a right-hand heavy bullpen day for the Yankees with Yarborough throwing a bunch yesterday, 27 pitches. Good take, 1-2.
I'd imagine they want to save the lefty in case you get a Carpenter appearance. Something along those lines.
Yeah, it would have to be Tim Hill, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
What we saw on Monday. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, if Baez reaches, you might see A.J. Hinch go Carpenter for Kreidler.
Very good possibility. He's over by the heater, keeping his hands warm.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Change up away. 10 strikeouts for Fried.
Just been outstanding all day with the sinker, with the breaking stuff.
You will have other opportunities for Carpenter. So Kreidler with 2 out is the play. But if Baez got on, it could have easily been Carpenter, and there's strike 1. A.J. Hinch will do that. He'll have kind of 2 diverging paths in his mind based on the previous at-bat.
And if they bring the righty in, he'd go straight to Carpenter. But Fried doesn't have that many pitches. He's at 92, so it's not really forcing their hand. This will be his last inning, I'd imagine, unless Kreidler gets a knock. But then he'd still probably face McKinstry.
Correct.
It's a fun game, baseball, isn't it?
It absolutely is. A lot to think about. Oh, and 2.
Heavy dose of fastballs to start the at-bat. Just contact.
Oh my, what a take. Yikes.
They call it a ball, it's a ball. Tough pitch.
Two. Check swing, and that is not
Safe.
enough for strike 3.
Living on the edge. Living on the edge. Now you just got to win 1 pitch, Jason.
That's it.
All that drama leading up to this point, just win a pitch. Kreidler thought, it's coming back, I'm not going to swing. Judge says.
That was really close. 3-2, a wheel to second base.
Dingler always gets a lot of respect out there on the base paths. That speed.
Polar bear at second.
The old polar bear. Just win 1 pitch. That's it.
3-2 from Fried. Struck him out. Fastball, and Fried is amped. His 11th strikeout.
He's dialed in.
Pitcher, a Wallside Windows pitching change, is Will Vest out of the bullpen through 3 1/3. 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts so far in his season.
Love Vesty starting off with a slider. He's got one of the best fastballs in the big leagues. That slider's been a weapon too.
One is there, 1-2.
I could watch him throw that fastball all day. That thing just buries.
Slider 2-2. See Will Vest, everybody dealing with the cold here. 45 degrees at game time. Right at Torque. 1 away.
That fastball's working in there, huh? When Goldschmidt hits it like that, you know it's a different fastball.
Correct.
Because he's been on it this series.
One down. Ball 1 to Jazz Chisholm Jr. Tigers in the 8th will have McKinstry, Malloy, and Ibanez coming up. 2-0. Don't forget, we will not be on here on FanDuel Sports Network on Friday. The Tigers will be in Minneapolis for a 7:10 Central Time First pitch, 8:10 Eastern time, but Apple TV has that game, so that crew will call that game. We will have game 2 against the Twins. Our airtime 1:30 Detroit time. Byron Buxton in Minnesota at 3-8 to open the year, kind of surprisingly so. Flipped in the air, foul, third base, and out of play, 2-2. Minnesota lost to Kansas City last night. The Royals are the team in second place in the AL Central right now at 6-5. Cleveland 4-6 in third. And a Brewer fan has found his way to the ball game there, the standings, with the Tigers up a game on Kansas City. Called strike 3. I don't think Jazz is very jazzed about strikeout number 12 for the Yankees today. Now a message from Figer Law.
Make Figer Law your first call and get the justice you deserve. Figer Law. All we do is win.
Two out for Anthony Volpe. Ball 1. Volpe still hitless in the series as that fastball was too tight.
Work back to last at bat. See if we can do the same thing here.
A little bit up, 3-0. This is a Yankees offense that scored 36 runs in 3 games to open the year against Milwaukee. That's 12 runs a game. And the Tigers pitching has kept them down for the most part this series. There's ball 4. Volpe will be on, and he is certainly a threat to steal with that vault lead he gets over at first.
He can move a little bit. Yeah, the Yankees scored a ton of runs. In one game in Milwaukee, they scored like a whole bunch really quickly.
Yeah, it was not great for the Brewers team ERA.
No. But that's a team that can do that, and the Tigers pitching staff has been amazing in this series, limiting damage, especially the long ball. I mean, this is a team that's got threats up and down the order.
Yeah, the Yankees are...
It's not a walk in the park.
No.
Like, you're not coming in here and just, oh, yeah, mow them down. You got to be pretty intentional to be able to do what the Tigers pitching staff has done this series so far.
Yeah, spending this much time with the Yankees lineup with very little damage is like spending a lot of time at the White Lotus and coming out okay. And not having something bad happen to you.
Exactly. And they've done a good job. Big pitches in big situations. Good defensive plays.
Grisham in his first at-bat, strike 1. The game you're talking about was Saturday of opening weekend. The Yankees had 20 runs on 16 hits. They won by 11 and committed 5 errors.
That'll inflate your offensive statistics a little bit out the gate, too.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, but this team will do damage throughout the year.
For sure. For sure. And the Tigers won't see the Yankees until September at Yankee Stadium. So this is it for the summer until we get near autumn. 1-1 to shortstop and Baez. Tigers trying to come back when we come back. Presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Join us after the game. We break down all the game action and bring you AJ Hinch's post-game comments on Tigers Live immediately following the game. Trying to get another comeback to close out another sweep. That's what it took against the White Sox the other day. And it will take that against Luke Weaver in the Yankee bullpen. 4 1/3 for Weaver so far, 5 strikeouts. The 31-year-old right-hander who features a fastball, a changeup, and a cutter, none of which have given up a hit so far this year.
Yeah, he's going to come out and be chucking bullets. This guy could throw a baseball. He walked a few guys this year, but that's not the book on him. He'll be in the zone.
Big time swing and miss on the changeup as he's got a strike there at the top of the zone to McKinstry, who tripled in the 5th with 2 out but was left at 3rd. There's the changeup, and that's why.
Yeah, that's tough. Coming off a good four-seam fastball. As it looks like a four-seam changeup, too. That's the hard one to pick up. There's no difference in rotation. Takes about 8 to 10 mile an hour off of it.
Into left field, and Bellinger one away, back to the top of the card.
They're battling.
Tigers are very right-handed on the bench today, with the exception of Kerry Carpenter.
Yes. Be good to get a runner on when you deploy Carpenter.
Line to third and off the glove of Cabrera. It's a base hit for Malloy, and very quickly that baseball bat that was in the hand of Andy Ibanez has been transferred to Kerry Carpenter.
All it takes is a base runner, and there's action. You know these guys are wanting to come back. Tigers never give up. It's not in their DNA, not for this squad. They're going to push it to the limit.
So Kerry, for his career, has been a great fastball hitter. All 4 of his home runs have been on breaking balls, and Weaver doesn't have one to speak of. It's fastball, changeup, cutter.
He's going to get some changeups down and away. He'll probably get fastballs up, changeups down and away, cutter, kind of in on the hands.
There you see what he's done against the breaking ball, which kind of runs against what he has done in his career. He's been a fastball torturer. First pitch swing, Carpenter, a fly ball into right center field. It was off the changeup, and it's Grisham to put away out number 2. Look, if you're looking for it and you get it on the first pitch, you might as well take a rip.
Yeah, just a little bit out in front of it. Ball's down and out away from him. Good pass at it. Riley's like, yes, a right-hander. He had like 10 at-bats in a row against lefties. Something crazy.
It's been a while. Upstairs, ball 1. Riley did have a base hit against Fried on a ground ball in the first. Tying run at the plate. How much does he like the changeup here? 2-0. He threw him a high fastball, then a changeup.
Yeah, I mean, changeup's a good pitch because Riley can hit the ball out of the yard very quickly. But anything middle in, Riley will probably be firing on very aggressively. If it's down and away, might try to go with it, might take it.
That's where Escara sets up 2-0. Oh, that's called ball 3 on a changeup.
Yeah, and that's when you're trying to be too perfect as a pitcher. You got dangerous hitter up. There's a fine line that you have to weave as a pitcher. Hit your spot or just off.
3-0. If it's nice, maybe he takes a pass at it. It's called a strike.
Yeah. But Riley can just stay aggressive here and trust himself. He knows the zone. Something middle in. Let it eat.
3-1. He wanted to, and that changeup just kept fading.
Yeah, out of the hand, it was middle.
Yeah.
Fastball, middle. Your eyes light up. And that's a good pitch. But no harm, no foul. 3-1, let it go. Now you got to see the ball a little bit deeper.
3-2. Struck him out. Another changeup. That one in. 12 strikeouts for the Yankees.
Tough pitching here. Changeup down.
All game. One swing. That's it. Ben Rice against Tyler Holton.
Really the only mistake of the day. And I mean, he still had to hit it. Good piece of hitting as well. But it's been a pitching game.
Yeah, in a major way. And now we see the defense shifting. Mentioned McKinstry going from right to third. He's willing to play anywhere, and he has a little cheat sheet like everybody does, right, Daniela?
That he does. You know, where I'm stationed in the dugout down here, the outfielders set their hats down right on the ledge right next to me, and each time there's a pitching change, they have a little card that changes in their hat that, you know, tells them the matchups, where they should line up, things like that. So Zach McKinstry has the trouble of trying to keep all of those straight, not only with different pitchers, different hitters, and matchups like that, but different positions. So hopefully he doesn't have his right field card out there right now at third base. So a lot to keep straight for Zach McKinstry, but he's gotten pretty good at it, I'd imagine.
He's such a valuable piece, Daniela, and thank you for that. You know, to have the ability, A.J. Hinch basically gets one extra pinch hit every game because of Zach McKinstry.
Yeah, he can move around, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to put it all together in your head. And a guy like Zach is like that piece that always fits. You know, sometimes you have to force that one piece.
Yeah.
You don't have to force it with Zach. It just fits.
No, you break the puzzle if you do that with certain pieces. Popped up back of home. Dingler had room, and he just tried to backhand it. He never really fully set his feet, and he's mad at himself there.
Yeah, he gets over, and it's kind of like doesn't quite know where the wall is. Has to take a stab at it, and he can't believe it. He had it. That's tough when you don't know quite where the wall is, haven't made contact with it. You kind of just reach out.
It looked for a moment like that ball might end up out of play. We have a pitch comm issue.
That's a standard, one a game. Yeah, the wind might have blown it back in a little bit. Trying to get on the same page here. Talking about sinkers, pitch comms.
Yeah.
Wind blowing.
Dingler, I think, is waiting for a second pitch comm device. I tell you what, really lucrative cottage industry, pitch comm tech support.
Could be.
Currently hiring.
You got to stick it in that helmet so the buttons relay the signal to the different pitch comms.
So you can hear what you're calling.
Now he's tuning his pitch comm, making sure it's not too sharp.
C,
or
C
too
sharp.
C, yeah.
D.
Yep, E, F, you got it. So they can play a little medley.
All you need is 4 chords.
4 chords for any song in the world. You can play it. That's it.
This may be, and we'll talk to the people at Guinness, this may be the longest pitch comm delay in Major League history. We're gonna put a stopwatch on this.
Well, I think they might have had to rotate through a couple of them. Maybe he might have whacked his knee on the concrete too. That could have been part of the issue when he was over at the wall, on the brick wall.
Yeah,
smashed a button or two.
Are these off-road pitch comms?
I don't
think
so.
Is the question.
That's a good question. And this one's not working either. I think it's the knee. I think he kind of throws his hands up. There is no delay of game penalty for this that I'm aware of. So it'll still be.
Brebbia just said, can I just get like one? Can I get one more? He wanted one warm-up.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a pitcher take one warm-up throw?
Well, I think he just wanted to be able to throw a baseball because he's been sitting there for a while. Yeah, one, he's good. Brebbia's on it.
And after the delay, here we go again. Watch your knee. Oh, that one is incomplete as well. Baseball has a nasty sense of humor sometimes.
I mean, what is happening right now? That's the exact same spot. Very difficult play. He tries to go with the basket catch, and that one hit the palm. And, he's frustrated. Those are not routine plays, Jason. Ball blowing back in from foul ground, weird angles.
And Brebbia is like the last pitcher to be frustrated about that. Like, he's just like, give me a 1-0 toss. I'll get him out. We're fine. Don't worry about it. But Dylan Dingler, you know, his first time as really the primary catcher for a Major League Baseball team with the injury to Rogers. And then that one ends up hitting Escara, so he's on. And now everybody's just got to kind of set their feet and make sure this goes the right way.
Refocus.
Yes.
Dial it back in. Got a working pitch comm now. No weird balls over there by the brick and the net and a wall. Right back at him. Let's play some baseball.
Get a ground ball here from Cabrera. That's ball one on a fastball away, and Brebbia kind of lurched into that throw.
Yeah, you kind of lose your rhythm, lose your timing when weird things happen in baseball games.
Foul ball out of play. The Tigers in the home ninth will bring up Torkelson, Dingler, and Keith, and you have to imagine it's going to be Devin Williams and the airbender changeup coming in. Bunt shown, and he got hit in the foot. Back-to-back plunkings.
Yeah, this is a tough one because he's going back foot slider, and you see his back foot go to the inside part because he squares the bunt. In a normal situation, if he's not bunting, that ball doesn't hit him. He probably swings through it, but because he's squaring around the bunt, he takes that left foot out towards the plate, which puts it in exactly the wrong spot for Brebbia.
And now, you know, this has unraveled more than certainly Dingler would have wanted. He was mad at himself for not getting the out, but also the delay and everything that came along with it. You can't say, well, one caused the other necessarily, but it's been just sort of an odd herky-jerky inning.
Yeah, and that's part of being a pro. You got to learn to clear it. Like, things happen, mistakes get made, nothing's perfect in this game, but what's the next best thing we can do? That's what you always go back to, that short memory, like wash it, clear it. Let's move to this guy right here because this guy hit a home run his last at bat. Let's make sure we attack him properly, get after this ball game. Don't let it get out of hand.
Yeah, he is the reason, Ben Rice is, that the Yankees have the lead. His one swing on a homer deep to right center. First pitch is away. Tigers a 5-0 homestand so far. Regardless, it will be a winning homestand in a big way, but you'd love the sweep here if you can. Called ball 2.
Got to be careful here.
Yeah. So what do you like to Rice?
Well, probably change up away. I mean, if Brebbia feels like he can hold it and keep it in the zone.
Stayed away. It's a fastball, 2-1.
That works too.
Yeah, the point is stay away.
Stay away. Perfectly placed fastball. Nothing he can do damage on.
They'll call time here. Judge is next. Rice came into the game 50% ground ball. One of those would be nice here. 2-2.
Hitting spots. That's a way to come back from 2-0. Spot.
Three and 2. Pablo Reyes, by the way, is pinch run for Escara here. The former New York Met is in, which means Wells will have the plate in the bottom of the ninth. There's that ground ball right at second base, and Keith couldn't handle it. That was 2 for sure. Instead, it's bases loaded, nobody out.
Gets the ground ball, just comes up and hits him in the palm and the hand, it looked like. This That's why these delay of game things, like you said earlier, you got to learn to refocus constantly in baseball, pitch to pitch.
Now Judge, wave and a miss, a broad slider, 0-1. You're probably coming home here, right?
Yeah, yep. Work cut out for you now. Definitely trying to get the runner at home. You don't want to let them have any more on that scoreboard.
0-1. That's a high pop-up. First base side. Torkelson into foul ground, and he does not have room. We've had enough of that this half inning.
You're kind of sick of those little short pop-ups.
It's just stay in play and hover right over the top of a.
Is it fair? Is it foul?
And Dylan Dingler, you know, with what kind of teammate he is, he's just kind of sitting there marinating in the two that he didn't catch.
I know it, but you got to learn. You got to clear it. Like, nobody wants to make those mistakes. They do happen. And that's part of why you have teammates, man. Sometimes they have to pick you up. Sometimes you pick them up.
0-2. Way too hard hit to get in front of, and Judge has driven in a pair. It is 4-0 Yankees.
Brebbia challenges him with the heater. With the infield slightly drawn in, there's just nobody home. That ball's hit hard. But you got to keep playing here, Benetti.
Yeah.
It's only 4 runs. Limit the damage.
First pitch, ball 1. (1-0). 2-0. You might not see Devin Williams now come in the 9th. Kenta Maeda loosening. Brennan Hanafy has picked up a baseball 2. It's 3-0. Yeah, Mark Leiter Jr. has a ball in the Yankees bullpen, so it looks like Aaron Boone is going to waive off the use of his closer, Devin Williams, who threw 14 pitches on Sunday. It is a fluid situation. That's ball 4. The bases are loaded. And so John Brebbia awaits the arrival of his catcher and his pitching coach. We have not seen an inning like this from the Tigers in the field. I would say, I know there was a Keith play in Seattle, but an inning like this that has unraveled like this has been so rare for this team since July of last year.
Yeah, and they played really sound baseball. And once in a while, there are a series of events that are going to be unfortunate. You play enough games. This game is not easy. And you play enough games, you're going to have some stumbles, you're going to have some fumbles, there's going to be some things that happen. It's always like, how do we bounce back from those? That's it. Like, try to not let them compound this inning. They've compounded a little bit more than usual. But even to that point, like, the next best thing, what can you do next? Well, the next best thing is to try to get Goldschmidt. That's it. That's all you can do mentally.
Here he is. I think about that game. It was a Friday night in Oakland, deep into extra innings, and the Tigers had chance after chance but just couldn't put it away. And with that loss, you're like, man, is the magic going to go away? Like, is there time once you give away a game like that? And they just played even better baseball down the stretch after that loss that, you know, probability wise, and I know the coaching staff felt like probably should have had that one.
Yeah.
And things just unraveled a little bit in Oakland. This team has shown to be very resilient and taken that energy and put it forward.
Yeah, and if you're a good team, like, even good teams have bad days, but if you're a good team, you're going to come back and you're going to be fine. If you're a bad team, that's where it just keeps unraveling. That's the difference. Best team on the planet Going to have a bad day once in a while, right?
Dodgers have lost a couple.
Even the Dodgers.
They lost in Washington last night. Chopper back to the mound. Brebbia comes home. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. 2 outs on the 1-2-3 double play.
Damage control. See? Just don't let it spiral out of control. But even that, so say if right here, if Brebbia can get out of this inning, the Tigers get out of this inning and can limit the damage to 2 runs. With all of those events, they have a chance now to limit all those events to only 2 runs. Is pretty amazing.
Yeah, you take it and then you just kind of roll the dice in the bottom of the ninth, see what happens.
Yeah, get a couple runners on. You never know. Little bingo bango.
I wonder if Boone will go Mark Leiter Jr. or Devin Williams. If it is 4-0, I mean it's not a save situation, but you know you could.
I mean,
argue.
if you've seen what the Tigers have done for the last 4 months of baseball, you would probably think, well, these guys know how to come back.
And you have an off day tomorrow, the Yankees do. We'll see. It may be mood. We'll see what Chisholm does. It's 0-2 on Jazz Chisholm. Yeah, Yankees have the off day. They're home for San Francisco on Friday. 0-2.
Good stop by Dingler. But that's how you clear it, you know. A couple plays earlier, and now he's right back at it. Bodying that one up. Working.
One, 2. In the dirt, Dingler keeps it around, and Judge thought about it over at third. He's had a pretty sizable lead on these last couple of pitches, but it wasn't far enough.
Yeah, he's going to stretch it out. As far as the third baseman will be from the bag, he'll be just inside of that. McKinstry being way off the bag with the left-handed hitter up. There's plenty of space for him.
2-2. Wave and a miss, strike 3. High slider ends the inning. The Yankees double their lead. The Tigers have a road to try to come
ahead. Will be a longer one than Eddie, but still 3 outs.
3 outs to play with. They are the currency here, and Devin Williams is the new pitcher. The acquisition by the Yankees in the offseason in his 4th game as a Yankee after spending his entire career with the Brewers, and that changeup just flutters through the air to break your heart. Strike 1. Austin Wells is on to catch after Reyes pinch ran for Escara. 0-1 to Torkelson.
That's when you're not expecting the heater. Thinking that changeup's about to roll. It starts that middle third down. You're like, let it go if it's down at all.
Too quick is what the plate umpire Tomlinson just said. You got to let the batter be in the box. So now he's seen both fastball, changeup. 0-2. Off the plate away, 1-2.
Now you'd think changeup.
Yeah, you feel like everything he's doing is to set up the changeup.
Try to get to the changeup. But he'll run that bottom rail heater to kind of disguise it, and then works the changeup off that too.
You just got to battle.
Battle it. Battle mode. You know, that pitch right there is one that Torkelson, with all the adjustments he's made, all the hard work he's put in, he's able to foul that pitch off. I mean, that's a pitch that's not easy to get any sort of lumber on at all.
Good take. He's seen it a couple times now, which has to help.
That one started a little lower, a little bit further down. He kind of recognized it down. Now, this is where you got to be careful, because he'll try to sneak that fastball in there too, and if he freezes you, you're out.
Oh, he pulled that one. That fastball was way outside.
You love it when that happens as a hitter. As a pitcher, you know, When they pull it like that, it's ball out of hand.
You don't have to work.
Non-competitive.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, same type of situation. Probably going to go back to the changeup. He loves that pitch. It's his pitch. It's a pitch he wants to throw.
3-2, he came with it, and Torque just got a piece. Fending it off.
Battling up. Give me on them sacks.
Dylan Dingler next.
The demeanor of this team is awesome.
Yeah, nobody's going down quietly here. 3-2. Torque line drive left field, and that will scatter the folks at the sidewall.
Now this is where he goes, okay, now does he go fastball? Because he about timed that changeup up. Oh, the fun of baseball.
Seen a bunch of changeups. 3 of the last 4, 4 of the last 5. 3-2. Upstairs. Good sequence for Torque. That is the first walk today from a Yankee pitcher.
He earned it too. Got down to the count quick, battled all the way back, fouled off some tough pitches. Keep the train moving, next guy up.
Dingler. Ball 1. Just a little game pressure. We saw it affect the White Sox. Obviously, there's more experience in the arm and mind of Devin Williams than the White Sox had. But game pressure is game pressure. 1-0. Ooh. Wells had to drag that down to get the strike.
Nicked it.
Just off the plate. Dylan got that call. 2-1.
I mean, at some point, he's going to have to come in there. See Dingler's eyes relaxed and ready.
2-1.
And that ball is moving a lot. That changeup's got some serious movement.
It doesn't just get the airbender name for fun.
No. I mean, it is starting middle, and it's in and up, in off the plate.
Two. Struck him out. That fastball was so well placed. You have to make a decision, and 1 away.
Been tough pitching all day. Yankees pitchers are hitting spots, mixing pitches, and that is one of those pitches that trying to foul off, but after the changeup like that, you can't cover both. Can't cover both.
1 down for Keith. First pitch foul. Ben Rice's 2-run home run gave the Yankees the lead. They doubled it in the 9th. That Rice home run was the first homer allowed by the Tigers staff in 55 2/3 innings.
Impressive. Impressive, Mark.
That was at the time the longest streak in Major League Baseball. They had passed the Royals, who were at 54 1/3 starting play today. That's a called strike, and Devin Williams just shaving off corners.
Yeah. You see Colt just shaking his head. There is nothing really you're doing much with on pitches like that.
1-2. Man, oh man. There's some movement on that fastball.
Yeah, it's buried in on the hands. It's kind of an emergency hack trying to battle. And at 95, it just got by him.
Here's Baez. 2 outs in the 9th. That's a changeup buried inside, 1-0. Trey Sweeney has a bat on deck. He's the last lefty for the Tigers on the bench. Torkelson takes second base. Defensive indifference. Baseball, the only sport where apathy is recorded.
He's not going to get a stolen base for that?
Nope. Two and 0. Through the right side, that's a base hit. Stop sign at third. 2 on, 2 out. Trey Sweeney.
Little fastball out over the plate. Javi pops it in the 4-hole. He's been hitting the ball pretty well. Jason?
Yeah, he has.
Good to see.
Rough start today, 3 strikeouts, but
Who wouldn't strike out 3 times against that guy? You know?
I was just being equal opportunity. He was 2 for 6 in the series coming in. He had swung it well.
Now they got the meeting of the minds at the mound. Javi's over there after getting a knock, trying to decide that what play they want to run. With 2 outs, you got the lead. They want to run the out play. The Tigers are trying to run the anti-out play.
That's how it looks in the playbook. Don't forget, Tigers Live postgame presented by Cure Auto is next. Trey Sweeney trying to make Johnny Kane and Dan Petrie wait a little bit. There goes Baez. He'll take second base. More indifference. Oh, 1. That changeup just evaporates.
So hard. I mean, this ball runs about 14.675 feet. Look at the spin on it.
That's why the Yankees went and got him.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
I mean, you about have to wait to be able to see the break, but then that's going to make you so late on the fastball. It's kind of like pick your poison, flip a coin.
One, 2. It's down. Nice take. Okay, he's seen 3 straight changeups. 2 and 2. Do you gear up for the fastball? Like your hitter mind right now says what?
No, you have to see if it's going to be a changeup, and then probably battle the fastball off, because if he throws one of those changeups out over the plate, you're going to swing and miss pretty quick.
2 and 2. That's what he did. He fought the fastball off, right?
Foul the fastball off. And if he leaves the changeup up and it doesn't move like a mile, really you're trying to get to 3-2 against a guy like this. In my mind, I'm thinking, how do I get to 3-2? Not necessarily just trying to, hit a ball in a gap. How do I get to 3-2? And that's going to be by waiting on the changeup, seeing one off the table.
2-2 here. Fastball away.
Good take. Starts out. You can see him tracking. Now you open yourself back up, but you're also a little more susceptible to a changeup once you get 3-2.
Here it comes. Oh, a little piece of it. That's all it takes.
Just a little nibble. Battling, man. I'm telling you. And if there is one thing that this Tigers team will always do, is battle. Continue to battle, no matter the score.
3-2 pitch here. 2 out in the 9th. Sweeney takes ball 4. All right. Tying run to the plate, Zach McKinstry. He's already got a home run in this series, part of yesterday's barrage.
And it was a big fly, too, a high one. flexing the muscles. Giving props to the bullpen. See if there's more smiles to come. Pressure though, huh?
Yeah.
Pressure though, huh?
You start to feel it.
Are you feeling it?
Yes.
You're feeling it?
Yeah.
Are you a little nervy over there?
No, I like the way this team applies pressure on even the fans.
And the Yankees, they got to get a guy up in the bullpen. Mound visits, here they come. New guy coming in, like
Hills for Carpenter, right?
Yeah.
In 3 batters down the road. Tigers would love to get it there.
Yeah, for sure. That would mean good things are happening. But just next guy up. But you see the at-bats, the battling with the 2 strikes, getting some knocks, never conceding. And now you put yourself in a spot where you're making a little noise, putting some pressure. Cortisol levels are higher for the opposing team now.
And he's throwing his 30th pitch of the inning. Doesn't happen a whole lot for Devin Williams. First one here, he zips in for a strike, almost an angry fastball.
An angry little fella. That's McKinstry. You know, you're thinking changeup. He gets ahead with a heater, but in your mind, you know he's got the changeup, so you're trying to not swing at something down. Like that.
That one gets away. No more shutout. It goes rolling down the stairs.
That'll be 2 bases.
Absolutely. The Tigers get 1.
That went in the dugout, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's not a thrown ball, so it's only 1 base.
Well, it was a thrown ball, but not thrown.
Not by a fielder, right?
It.
So it's 1 base off the mound, 2 off a throw in the field. So it is 4-1.
Still got to get the guy at home plate around. But that does eliminate forces on the bags for something up the middle, something in a hole.
2 balls and a strike.
And the fans are loving it.
Now it's building. Two-1. In the air and down into right field. 1 run is home. Here comes the second. Throw is not in time. McKinstry to second base. They let it go through. That is wild that the throw came to the plate. McKinstry gets an extra base out of it, and that could be enormous on the throw from Judge in right.
That's exactly right, Jason. That run doesn't matter. McKinstry's the one that matters. Nice job by the Tigers, though. Put the pressure on. The pressure cooker. It's mounting. Goldschmidt tried to cut it off, but heads up. Base running by McKinstry to read the angle of the throw. By Cora to send him. By Sweeney to not let up. He sailed it.
So runner at second, 2 out. The Tigers have furious comeback from the Tigers here in the 9th inning. Javi Baez a base hit. Torque had walked already. Sweeney a walk. Then Zach McKinstry, after this wild pitch, brought the first run home. Ends up driving in 2 more over the head of Jazz Chisholm at second base. 4-3 your score. And now Mark Leiter Jr. comes out of the bullpen to face Justin Henry Malloy. Winning run at the plate. Leiter's already given up a home run this year, and there he misses with a curveball. It was Eugenio Suarez 8 days ago. He gave up a home run too with Arizona. Leiter has not gotten very many ground balls despite being a splitter-heavy pitcher. So far this year, he's been a fly ball pitcher, and he gets one there. He jams Malloy. It's behind second, and Chisholm makes the catch to finish off a Yankee win, a white knuckle loss for the Tigers in the 9th.
Put the pressure on to the end. You know, the Yankees pitched the ball really well. So do the Tigers. Well-pitched ball game. Not a lot doing. Hey, series win.
See you in mini. Tigers go 5-1 in the opening homestand this year. Johnny Kane, Dan Petrie. Tigers Live postgame by Cure Auto is next.